Hey, this is Tamara, and the question today is how do I get started creating a Google website? Well, Google does a good job of making it easy for us to create websites. So the first thing you need to know is that I am not logged into the Google Apps for Ed right now. I'm going to go ahead and move that screen up just a little bit so you can see that there. If you are logged into Google Apps for Ed, you probably still have the black bar navigation going across the top, and you will have to click on Sites. If you are not logged into Google Apps for Ed like I am not, if you'll come over here and click on the Apps icon, come down and select More and Even More, it's going to take you to another Google page. Scroll down on that page, and on the right hand side you're going to select Sites. Okay, now you can see I have a number of sites already out here. That's because Google makes them so easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead right now and click on Create. And you can create a site for a project and then delete that. There's just a lot of different uses for sites. Okay, on this page, a couple of things I do need to make clear. First of all, the blank template. The blank template lets you start out and create a website page by page. That is a great place to start if you're not at all familiar with creating websites and working in websites. If you are familiar with that, you might want to go ahead and grab a template like Classroom Site or even browse the gallery for even more. Now the difference being the Classroom site already has all of its pages added into it, and what you're going to do in those cases is you're going to take out the content and replace that content with your own. So if you're comfortable doing with that, that's a great place to go and visit and make sure that you can do everything. There's lots of options that you can do with it there. All right, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to name our site. So I'm going to call it And notice that as I type that, it goes ahead and it puts it down into a site location. So if I'm going to give this to my students, it's going to be located at this web address right here, My Classroom 150. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is select a theme, and the theme is basically just the color choices, and I'm going to go with rounders here and close that back up, and then come down and type the code. Sometimes you have to do this a couple of times for it to take it. And hit my enter key, and let's see if it's going to go ahead and take it. And sometimes it'll need to be changed in that somebody else is already using that same location or has that same name. All right, now I was all good to go. So I am here at my new website and I have one page. So how do I start editing my new Google website? Well, you're just going to click right here on the Edit pencil. It's going to give you a couple of very basic tools. Insert, that's where I get to insert all those goodies that we like to put on our web pages, images and links, gadgets, maybe you want to insert a calendar, YouTube videos, those kinds of things, lots of great things there. Formatting is very basic. Table, if you're familiar with using tables in web pages, you can certainly do that. And then you also have your choice with some basic layouts. And the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and change my layout into a 2-column. Okay, so how do I start? Well, I'm going to go ahead and start by just simply typing. Make sure that you do keep current information in there. When you finish typing, you can highlight things if you'd like to change, fonts, sizes, colors, those kinds of things. And then select the blue Save button. Okay, now how do I add more pages to my website? Right up here I have a new page icon. And it's going to ask me to name that. And maybe this is going to be, let's say my calendar. I'm going to put that underneath my home right there and click on Create. Okay, now I would like to go ahead right now and insert a calendar. So I'm going to insert and come over here to calendar. And Google is going to look at all of my calendars and say, okay, so which one would you like to insert? Well, I'm going to insert sample 2 and say select. And then it's going to give me a few basic things here, choices that I can make, but I usually just kind of leave that pretty much the same. And select save. And it's going to pop in that Google Calendar and save. Okay, there is my Google Calendar. And you can see my navigation is back here on the left-hand side. So I'm going to click on that to come back to my home page. If I want to edit that page, I can go ahead and do that here as well. Let's add a picture or graphic. So get your cursor where you'd like it to be. Insert an image. And I already do have some uploaded images. Or you can simply upload and it's going to go look on your computer. And let's come to one of these. Let's see what we've got here. Let's come to pictures. And grab one of the horses here, or let's do a full one instead. And it's going to go ahead and upload that. And one of the neat things about Google is that you can depend on them to always make sure that the pictures load quickly. So that is one thing that you do want to do. All right, that is inserting a picture, and it would pop in right here. And select Save. All right, how do I make changes with the website? Well, first of all, everything that you're going to need to know is down in Manage Site. And here you can see this is all your general permissions and everything about the website. So if you need to know that kind of information, all of that is right there. To go back to your site, click the name of it. Suppose you would like to edit the site layout. Maybe you'd like your navigation to go across the top. You can see right now that I have sidebar navigation enabled. So I'm going to turn that off. And I would like to add horizontal navigation, and I'm going to turn that on. Now, one thing that I've noticed right off the bat here is when I turn that on, that's great, but I don't have that second page. So I'm going to roll my mouse over it and click on Edit Horizontal. It's going to say, okay, would you like to add a page? Yes, I would. I'd like to add that other one that I started. I put that underneath Home, so it's Calendar. Say OK. And say OK as well. And click Close. And that is the basics of getting started with a Google web page. Hope this has been a good tutorial and you can get started. If you need any help, let me know.